Welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, earlier episodes this season explore how identity, passwords, and coming changes towards passkeys and passwordless security. This week, we'll talk everyday habits that shape security. But whatever stage you're joining, you're welcome. Welcome back to Quietly Secure. This is the podcast about digital security that works in real life, not just on your best days. By now we've talked about tracking, digital identity, and how systems quietly decide how much they trust you. And if you've listened to security advice before, you might be feeling a familiar tension. Because a lot of it sounds good, but somehow it never sticks. You start strong, then life gets busy, you forget, you fall behind, and eventually you stop trying. Today's episode is about what happens, and importantly how to build security habits that survive stress, distraction, and those imperfect weeks. Not habits that require discipline. Habits that work with being human. Most security advice fails for a very simple reason. It assumes an ideal person. Someone who always remembers, always has time, never gets tired, and never cuts corners. That person doesn't exist. A lot of advice sounds like, always do this, never do that. Make sure you remember every time. And when you don't, it quietly implies you've failed. But here's the truth. If a security habit only works on your best days or weeks, it's not a habit, it's a performance. Real life includes stress, travel, illness, distraction, forgetfulness. Security advice that ignores that isn't unrealistic, it's fragile. And fragile systems break when you need them the most. So let's talk about what does work. Habits that stick tend to share a few traits. They are low effort, automatic, forgiving, and easy to recover from. Notice what's missing? Willpower. The best security habits don't rely on you remembering to do the right thing. They make the default the safer option. Think about it this way. Security isn't about restriction. It's about friction placement. You want friction in front of dangerous actions, not in front of everyday ones. That's why things like password managers, automatic updates, and built-in device encryption work so well. They don't ask you to be disciplined. They quietly remove decisions. And removing decisions is one of the most powerful forms of security. There's a big difference between a ritual and a system. A ritual says, do this every time. A system says, it's hard to mess this up. Systems are boring, invisible, reliable. They assume you'll forget. They assume you'll have bad days. They assume you'll make mistakes. And they're built to catch you when you do. If security feels like a checklist you must constantly perform, it won't last. And if it feels like the background of your life, it will. You don't need perfect habits. You need habits that will forgive you. Security that only works when you're focused and motivated isn't security. It's stress. The best habit is one you barely notice. The one that keeps working when you're tired, rushed, or distracted. In the next episode, we'll talk about something that often gets framed as failure. Convenience. Why choosing it isn't a mistake, and when you're good enough is genuinely good enough. Until then, Be kind to your future self. And remember, security habits are the small behaviours that protect you long after the tools and trends change. Until next time, stay curious, stay calm, and stay quietly secure.